explanation and experiments about force.
A force is a push or pull that causes a change in speed, direction, or shape. Everything you move has to be done with a force.
Newton's law says that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. This means that when one object pushes on another with a force, the other object pushes back on the first object with the same force.
You always have to have two objects to require a force, and they have to have the same magnitude. That's why it's called an interaction. You have loads of different types of forces.
The force due to gravity causes objects to fall downwards or remain on the ground. This force is caused by the large mass of the Earth. The Earth continually pushes down on you. This force of gravity is called gravitational force. The formula which you can calculate gravitational force with is Fg is m times g, in which Fg is the force due to gravity expressed in Newton. M is the mass in kilograms. G is the gravity on Earth. The gravity on Earth is constantly 9.8 Newton. Multiply that by the mass of the object and you have the force.
Force applied to a stretched rubber band or extended spring is known as elastic force. A taut rope also extends a force, like a stretched rubber band, called tensile force or tension.
The rope stretches a small amount when it is made taut. Some ropes stretch so little that you don't even notice it. The more you pull the rope, the greater the tension becomes.
But in fact, when you stretch a spring or a rubber band too much, it will not be able to form its original shape. The tension of the elastic rope always acts in the direction of the rope, the elastic cord or the spring. Elastic force is calculated by using Fs equals C times U, in which Fs is the elastic force, C is the spring constant, and U is the extension.
Rub your hands like this, it gets warm. When you strike a match, it gets so hot that the match ignites. Called the force of friction. Frictional forces always act against the direction of motion.
Here you see a bookshelf bending from the heavy books. This force is called weight. The weight is therefore the force exerted by an object on another object, where the first object is supported or suspended from the second object. The bookshelf we just showed you bends, but it wasn't breaking. The shelf exerts a force upwards. The shelf supports the books called the normal force. The normal force is the reaction of the shelf on the books. The books push down on the shelf and the shelf pushes up the books. Force is used on a daily basis and has been in contact with everybody, so it's important to learn about it.
Here are some examples. This is an example of gravitational and elastic force. When this person jumps, gravity causes her to fall downwards. When the elastic band reaches its maximum stretch, the person bounces upwards again. This is the electric force.
Guusje is using muscle force, likewise all our body activities like lifting weights and running. Muscular force can only be extracted with physical contact.
This is also an example of muscle force. Cateau's muscles put a force on the pedals which make Cateau cycle. By plugging the guitar I'm using elastic force, it stretches and then it returns to its original shape.
Here I am using muscle force for an interaction. When the ball is kicked, the two objects are forced in the same direction.
Cateau is lifting a pencil. She's using muscular force. And please don't forget to get vaccinated.
Guusje is making a loud noise using air resistance. This describes the forces that are in opposition to the relative motion of an object, as it passes through the air.
This was our explanation and experiment about force. I hope you guys learned a lot and liked our video. See you next time. Bye!
Bye.